Hello guys and welcome back to episode 2 of our EAFC 26 career mode here with Burnley. We are back today and we're going to have lots of gameplay coming in today's episode after we set up the save last time out in episode 1 and suffered our first defeat of the campaign at the hands of Tottenham. We're going to be back today with lots of gameplay as we're going to close out the summer transfer window and really crack on with the early stages of the season. We'll also have the second round of the Carabao Cup where we've been drawn with quite a tough game away at Southampton, who of course were relegated last year, and with a tricky set of fixtures to kick off the campaign. I'm fearing that it could be a little while until we get our first win of the campaign. But jumping straight into our first game of the episode, it is Sunderland at home, the only game that Burnley have won in the league so far, so I'm hoping to replicate that here and pick up our first 3 points of the season. Come on, you Clarets. Well, we've played half an hour here at Turf Moor and the rain is really coming down, which is making it difficult to get the ball down and play. And for those that watched the channel last year, you guys will know that I really struggled to play in the rainy conditions in FC 25. So be interesting to see how we get on here, as there might be a chance on the break with Hannibal driving us forward and he's got Foster ahead of him. Edwards is out wide. This is nice football from Burnley, and there's Kyle Walker. Walker lets fly, shot blocked, it'll drop for Hannibal, and it's wide of Roof's far post. First chance of the game, and that's a decent little counter-attack from Burnley. Well, guys, this is literally it, as Walker finds Chuana with the throw. And now Rudoni looks for Chuana again, and that is going to do it. Well, it's our first point on the board, but it's a pretty drab 0-0 draw in the rain here at Burnley. I'll take it. It's our first point, but again, I'd love to know your guys' feedback on the authentic gameplay. I think it feels good in terms of the realism, but as I kind of discussed in the first episode, I want to know what you guys think in terms of content for YouTube. Is it more exciting just to play on the classic sliders and have it a little bit more arcadey and a little bit more end-to-end? Let me know down in the comments. Well, even after that point, we are still in the relegation zone, but it is good to get our first point on the board, although we've got 2 tricky fixtures up next against United and Liverpool. But before we get there, it is time for the Carabao Cup second round, where we've been drawn away at Southampton. Now, Burnley did win in the Cup in real life. I think they were at home to Derby County, so this is certainly a trickier fixture away to Will Still Southampton. But I think I said it last year in the Southampton save, when you are struggling down at the bottom of the Premier League, sometimes the Cups can be a nice escape from that and can give you an opportunity, and some of your players an opportunity as well, to stake a claim to get in the starting 11 on the weekend. So midweek under the lights on the South Coast against the team that we used in last year's career mode, Southampton. Let's see if we can get our first win of the season. Come on, you Clarets. I have made plenty of changes, but as I said, that gives other players a chance to make a bit of a name for themselves, and Southampton lining up with a back 3 means that there might be space in those wide areas, but they have got some quality going forward as well, as Connor Roberts does well. And now Florentino, the new man in from Benfica, finds Chuana. Nice football that, as Connor Roberts on the overlap. And Roberts is away. Connor Roberts across the box for Larson, and there is our first goal of the season. It's taken just 14 minutes here on the South Coast, and it is a really nicely worked goal as well. Well, we've looked much better with the ball tonight and much more assured with it as well. Yes, we're facing a lower league opposition. Oh my goodness, that would have been a wonder goal from Southampton. And right on cue, curse of the commentator, they nearly get back into the game. But I was just saying, we have knocked the ball around pretty nicely tonight, and as we head into the break, we are leading by 1 as we look to hold on for our first win of the season. We've got some defending to do here. Shea Charles again finds Finn Azaz. All played out wide, and that should be the keeper's, and is. Maybe a chance to break here, as Bashir Humphreys finds Rudoni, and Brun Larson has space out wide. Oh, Amdouni offloads to Rudoni for 2. Oh, he's missed it. And it should have been the first goal in a Burnley shirt for Jack Rudoni. It was a lovely passing move once again, like we saw for the opening goal. But on this occasion, we couldn't finish it off and secure our progression to the next round. Oh, that's a terrible giveaway. Broja to wrap it up. And what a terrible, terrible goal from Southampton's point of view. Is Russell Martin back in charge of the Saints? That is horrendous. Trying to play out from the back, and Armando Broja, who's literally just come onto the field after that miss from Rudoni, with a really nice finish on the weaker left foot, bends it into the far corner, and that will do it now, as Burnley will be heading through to the third round of the Carabao Cup. Well, as we get back to the menus, we'll find out who it will be in the third round of the League Cup, as we are now out of the relegation zone, which is lovely to see. But in the third round of the League Cup, we are going to be taking on Leeds United. So a fellow newly promoted side away from home once again, midweek in September. And it will be Daniel Farke's side at Ellen Road. We will see that game coming up later today. But before we get there, it is Manchester United away at Old Trafford. Of course, a game which Burnley lost in the final few moments with a really poor decision from Jadon Anthony, pulling the shirt of, I think it was Ahmad, and awarding a penalty to Manchester United, which Bruno Fernandes dispatched. But fair play to Burnley, they gave it a really good go, and you'd argue deserved a point from the game. But looking to get our first 3 points of the season, of course, our first win came in the Cup, and I would love to get our first win of the Premier League campaign here at Old Trafford, although we will be massive underdogs. Come on, you Clarets. Tell you what, we're picking up a lot of balls in midfield so far today. As Walker finds Rudoni, flicked onto Edwards. Flag stays down. Marcus Edwards! It's a wonderful strike, and Burnley are in front at Old Trafford thanks to the Englishman Marcus Edwards. And I tell you what, I'm getting a lot of joy with that sort of interlinking play between my forward players. Little balls round the corner like that from Rudoni, and that is a wonderful finish from Edwards, cutting in off that right-hand side. And Burnley lead at Old Trafford. And as Hartman comes forward and finds Jadon Anthony, I'm feeling a little bit more fluid in my attack now, as I'm getting a bit more used to the game. And as Jadon Anthony is sent away, and we'll keep that alive there, and it'll find Florentino on the edge. Time and space to let fly. Bit of an unorthodox effort, but I have to say, after starting the cup game in the week, Florentino is making a massive difference in the heart of midfield, and we look full value for this lead. Mazraoui, strange ball into Mainu. He does manage to bring Sesko into play, and there is Florentino, and that is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm really getting on with the big Portuguese midfielder so far, and Rudoni has Walker out wide, and Walker looks for Foster, and Lamens comes, doesn't get there, loses it again. And, well, United are at 6s and 7s at the back, and, well, I'd be making realistic career mode content, and, well, it doesn't get much more realistic than that. But as Bruno Fernandes finds Brian and Buermo, have they got something up their sleeve before the break? Good block on Hartman by Sesko. And Buermo still dispossessed by Hartman. And it will be a late corner for Manchester United. Swung into the middle. De Ligt goes up. And it is just over the top as finally we see a response from United. A pretty crazy end to the first half. And I said I wasn't sure if the authentic gameplay might mean that there aren't as many highlights and the gameplay is a bit slower. But this has been a cracker so far at Old Trafford. Well, I have to say, with us set up on this deep tactical setup, United are going to have to come and break us down. And as Walker goes back to Dubravka, there's space on the break as Edwards does well. Foster back to Edwards, and Foster finds Rudoni. This for 2. Rudoni! It's a wonderful strike from the new man who missed a glorious chance in midweek at Southampton, but I was impressed with him in that number 10 position, giving him the nod here today. And Burnley look set for a historic win in match day 3 of the season at Old Trafford. Wonderful strike, and with full value for our lead here at Old Trafford. Dorgu. Is that onside for Mateus Cunha? Shot blocked by Florentino. I like that animation there. That was really realistic. And as the cross comes in, Hartman goes up. And Cunha will keep it alive for Bruno Fernandes. And through the gap for Sesko. Bruno has it once more. Can we see out the clean sheet? And Burmo gets one back for United. But it is too little too late with just 20 seconds left on the clock. It is not going to make a difference on the outcome of the result, as Burnley will hold on for a historic win at Old Trafford that the fans don't seem that impressed about. But what a way to get our first Premier League win of the season. I didn't expect it to come here at Old Trafford, but we fully deserved it. Edwards put us in front, and Rudoni scored a wonderful second on the hour mark. And whilst Mbeumo pulled one back for United, it was too little too late, as now the Burnley fans are singing and dancing as we pick up our first 3 points of the new Premier League campaign. Well, look at that, guys, as well. Our first win of the season has taken us into the top half. Not all of the games have been played yet, but it's good to see us climbing up the table. And for United, it was their first loss of the campaign. So they started off really well until they came across Burnley. But we made it to transfer deadline day. I don't think there's going to be any movement in or out of the club, as Josh Laurent is wanted by Fulham. But again, I'm quite happy with the team we've got. It's likely that I'm just going to run down the clock and keep everyone here. Yeah, guys, I've simmed through to the end of transfer deadline day, and it's still pretty clear to me that some work needs to be done on the transfer market as well. Cole Palmer has gone to Real Madrid, but if you look at the top deals in the window, it's still pretty unrealistic, isn't it? You've got players leaving who have just signed for their club, which is just absolutely crazy. Like, those transfers should not even be possible in the first season. Reece James going to Napoli. I saw that Jamie Gittins had left. Oh my goodness, Mateta's gone to Barcelona. I mean, he had a good season, but my goodness. The Lewis Skelly to Newcastle, Ahmad to Wolves. It's just, yeah, it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating because it's a new game and it's the same old problems with the transfer market. It's just too unrealistic, and there's too many moves as well. But yeah, that's a whole nother story. That's a quite a cool little graphic. But we have made it to the 1st of September, which means it's Youth Academy update time. Yeah, we've not had anyone making the academy yet, but my goodness, look at some of these guys that we've got. They look fantastic. Steve Barker, Harrison Draper, and Ollie Collins are all new to the youth system. But I think I'm going to give Billy Jordan an academy deal because he looks pretty solid, you know. I'm going to give Ronnie Dyson 1 more month because the potential is still only 71 to 94. But we got 4 players here from England who could have up to 94 potential. That's pretty impressive. From Ireland, unfortunately, it's not quite as good, but we will keep the scouting on Kyle Buckley, who I think we found in the previous episode. And from Scotland, yeah, I love scouting goalkeepers, man. It's so fun. Look at a few of these guys. Logan Archibald looks very good indeed. We've got John Duff as well and Kirk Hardy. I think those 3 at the moment are the 3 that excite me the most, but I'm going to keep the scouting on all 5 of these guys for now. So it is just the one man in the academy, or I should say kid, really. He's only 14 years of age, but look at the head of hair on him. My goodness, I love the aesthetic of this man, Billy Jordan. He's got a long way to go, of course, at just 14 years of age and 53 overall, but we'll keep an eye on his potential. Now, outside of the transfer window, all we've got to focus on is the gameplay, so we're going to jump straight into our next one. This is the final game that's been played at the time of recording, which was played last weekend as Liverpool took on Burnley at Turf Moor. And of course, that pretty awful penalty that Burnley gave away after defending so well for around 94 minutes meant that Liverpool won it by a 1-0. But I'm not expecting anything out of this one, despite back-to-back victories for us in Cup and then the league at Old Trafford against last year's champions and the team that are top so far this season. I'm expecting that we're probably going to taste defeat here. Come on, you Clarets. Right then, let's see if we can do as good of a job of keeping Liverpool out as Burnley did in real life, at least until that penalty was given away, as Larson, given the nod today, comes in field. Rudoni finds Carl Walker and a chance to cross. It'll come for Edwards, who lifts it in for Foster. And never mind how well we're defending, how about how we're attacking at the moment? 2 goals at Old Trafford, and now Lyle Foster gets his first goal of the season against the reigning champions. What a start from Burnley. Frimpong into Mo Salah, who's so deadly, as we know. Can't give him a sniff, but I don't mind him being out there on the right-hand side. But this is where he's dangerous, where he comes infield. Lovely football, and what a save by the veteran Martin Dubravka. That is great reactions from him, as we're not going to see a replay. But he keeps us in the lead as Salah's corner is headed on and over the top as we survive the first scare from Liverpool. Well, this might come back to bite me, as there's still a long way to go, but I'm going to say it because I believe it. We've been pretty comfortable so far. We've defended really well, as Rudoni finds Foster. Looks to spin, but is completely crowded out. And in our low block, Liverpool have not been able to find a route through yet. But as Florian Wirtz finds Isak, nice football. Oh, what a save by Dubravka again, as Hartman will clear. And now Liverpool are starting to up the pressure. Militao finds Frimpong. And Liverpool have got to get the ball forward now. We should deal with that, but we don't. And Isak, oh, gets away. And how unlucky is that, man? Isak to Wirtz. Come on, this would be so harsh. Florian Wirtz to Gravenberch. And Salah. And Salah, what am I doing? Oh, what am I doing, guys? I thought I could get there. I've bottled it. I've completely bottled it. There, I just thought I could get there. And he just nicks it away. And it will be Mo Salah, like in real life, with a spot kick to win it with the final kick of the game. It's Mo Salah. And he's missed it. It's off the crossbar. And Hartman clears. And Salah again, and it's saved by Dubravka. And we are saved by the whistle. Well, how about that? Talk about drama. Mo Salah's spot kick off the crossbar. And Liverpool had a chance to win it late. Couldn't take it, as the Egyptian, who's normally so reliable from the spot, is denied by the woodwork. We still threw away all 3 points, but in the circumstances, I would have taken a point all day long against the reigning champions. Another pretty exciting game, as the spoils are shared here at Turf Moor. Well, that's another brilliant result for Burnley, and if you'd offered me 5 points from those opening 4 games, I would have absolutely snatched your hand off for them. We're only 3 points above the relegation zone, but of course it is very early days, and we've had 3 really difficult games. So yeah, I'm really happy with our start to the season, and we've now got a chance to continue what has been a really positive start as we travel to Ellen Road in the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup. It is the lowest priority of mine for this season, so I will be rotating once again like we did in the previous round against Southampton. But honestly, we're playing well, so I just want to keep this unbeaten streak going. So hoping for another win in the Cup. Come on, you Clarets. Well, guys, I think this is going to do it, and it has been a horrendous game here at Ellen Road. By far the worst game that I've played so far in FC 26, and I believe in the Carabao Cup, if the scores are level, we head straight to the spot kick. So our first penalty shootout of FC 26. Let's see how we get on. Oh, here we go. Noah Okafor is up first for Leeds United and sends Weiss the wrong way to give the home side the lead. Armando Broja, who's not long off the bench for us, will take our first. And the Albanian scores past Melier, 1-1. Dan James up next for Leeds, going the same way. And, well, looks as if penalties are the same as last year, because Weiss dives really late and gets nowhere near it. Trezor, I'm going to that same corner, and it's 2 apiece. Tanaka up next for Leeds, switching it up, I think, and again, we've gone the right way and just can't get gloves on it. So Larson has to score to level things up. Jakob Brun-Larsen does make it 3-3. And now Sergi Dada, I think, is going left, and and again, we can't get there with Weiss, as Rudoni must score. Lots of power. Jack Rudoni does make it 4-4, and we're still 100% each. As Longstaff, again, we've gone the right way, and Weiss can't get gloves on it. I have a feeling that is going to be the story of penalties in FC 26, as the skipper Cullen must score and does to keep the shootout going. Stack up next for Leeds. I'm going really early, and again I've not got there. I don't know what more I can do, guys. Connor Roberts for Burnley must score, as the Welshman does make it 6-6. This is crazy. Jaden Bogle's up next for Leeds. Bogle, I've moved the stick so early, guys. I've gone so early. Eventually, Melier is going to save one, and we're going to lose this shootout. Not this time, though, as Ugachukwu makes it 7 apiece. Byram down the middle makes it 8-7, and it's advantage Leeds once more. Bashir Humphreys up next. Must score. Bashir Humphreys caresses it into the corner, and we're nearly at the keepers. Joe Roden is up next for Leeds. And he's missed. He's hit the post. And that means that the left back, Lucas Pires, has the chance to end what has been one of the longest spot kicks that I can remember taking in FC. As Pires must score, and does, and sends us through to the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. I'm getting out of here, man. That was a ridiculous penalty shootout. Well, I was hoping that cup game was going to be nice and quick, and the game itself was awful, but the shootout went on forever. But we'll find out who it's going to be in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. And it's not been drawn yet. Oh, because the teams playing in Europe play the following week, so that is why it's not been drawn. So after these games have been played next midweek, we'll find out who it is going to be that we'll face. So, all right, well, we'll just jump into our next game then. I'm hoping to close out with both the Nottingham Forest and City game to close out the month of September. So we'll see how we get on in the next one. Taking on now, of course, Ange Postecoglou's Nottingham Forest side. I believe they've updated it in the game. So yeah, let's go and see how we get on against Ange's Forest. Come on, you Clarets. Well, we've now passed the hour mark, and as Esteve wins that header, we're still deadlocked at 0-0 in what has been a pretty terrible game once again, I won't lie, but I think the rain's playing its part, as it is absolutely chucking it down. And with Ange now in charge and Dan and Doy opening the scoring, I wouldn't be surprised if the game is pretty similar to this in real life. A tight and cagey game that is maybe 1-0 either way. And as Dan and Doy, who's had a fantastic start to life at Forest in real life, gets Ange's side off and underway, and finally we have the breakthrough here at Turf Moor. Well, guys, that's going to do it, and I've just not been good enough in the rain here at Turf Moor, as Forest are going to see out the victory and all 3 points as we pick up just our 2nd defeat of the season after our loss on match day 1 away at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. This time it comes to former Tottenham boss Ange Postecoglou. Sorry guys, just got an achievement, but Nottingham Forest will nick it by just a single goal as we fall to our 2nd defeat of the campaign. Well, not the result I wanted, and with Manchester City up next, not really the way I wanted to close out the episode, but we've done okay today. We've picked up some decent results, but a loss here could see us slip into the bottom 3 depending on results around the grounds. But now that those Carabao Cup games have been played, we'll find out who we're going to face in the 4th round. And typical. Okay, well, it's at home this time, but it's going to be Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, who we will face twice in the space of a month, as we will close out with them here in the league in our final game of September. As I say, I'm expecting another loss here, but after a really good point against Liverpool and that win at Old Trafford. I'm thinking that maybe, just maybe, we might be able to scrape a positive result to close out the episode. But expecting to probably lose this. Man City away at the Etihad. Come on, you Claret. This is the sort of game where it's really important to try and keep the opponents out for as long as you can. If you concede an early goal, you know that the likelihood is it's just going to become 3, 4, 5-0. If you can frustrate them and keep them out for long enough, which is pretty hard when this man is up top for Man City. Erling Haaland, the goal machine. And in FC, I can just never keep him quiet. He always scores against me. This is his 4th goal of the season on match day 6 or 7 of the campaign. And Foden's cross into the big man. He gets goal side of our defender Ekdal. And he was never going to miss from there. City lead inside the opening 10. Foden finds Bernardo Silva. Now Reinders. Ball slid through. Doku gets there. Good save by Martin Dubravka as Walker will get his foot on the ball and we will look to try and play our way forward. But Dubravka called into action. And if we are to get anything today, we're going to need Dubravka to have a good performance. And as Rudoni is sent down the right, swings the cross in for Foster at the back post. And that is half a chance for the South African. And he got up highest, but just couldn't divert the header into that far corner. That's a chance for us on the break. Ekdal out to Kyle Walker. And now some space for the former City man to run into. And I think Edwards is onside there, and is. And Edwards floats it up for Foster at the back post. And again, he gets up above Marquinhos, but can't divert it towards goal. That's a couple of chances for our number 9. Florentino round the corner to Cullen, who can bring the ball away. And now Edwards finds Walker, who slides it back to Edwards. And we are getting a bit of joy in these forward areas. Edwards holds off Aït-Nouri. And there's Rudoni. Oh, what a save by Gigi Donnarumma. And I thought it was just going to drop into that far corner. Not to be. And we will have the corner. So used to going short in FC 25. But this time it goes into the middle. And what a story that would have been had Kyle Walker's header nestled into the back of the net. Well, I would usually say that you don't see City giving up this many chances on their goal. But over the last year and a half, it has happened, and you can play against City now where you couldn't before, and they just swarmed you and won the ball back. You can play through them a bit more now as Bernardo Silva gets away, and it's another spot kick as I think it was Maxime Estev goes flying into the challenge and thought the ball was there to be won. I'm not sure if we're going to see a replay. I don't think we are, but this is probably going to seal it for City if this finds the back of the net. And with Erling Haaland over it, you'd expect nothing less, as Haaland is denied by Dubravka. And from the 2 penalties we've given away and faced this season, we've conceded none of them. Dubravka with a save and Mo Salah hitting the woodwork against us at Turf Moor. And now we come the other way with Chuana. Lovely run. Loom denied by Donnarumma. Well, despite the penalty miss, it is still going to be City picking up all 3 points after some pretty important saves from Gigi Donnarumma in between the sticks. They certainly needed their big Italian today. And although I'm never happy with a loss, I have to say the performance was really positive at the home of Manchester City. But nonetheless, it is going to be 0 points that we claim here in Manchester, and that is back-to-back defeats for the first time this season. So a little tricky run of form, but we've done pretty well in today's episode. The win against Manchester United was certainly a welcome surprise, and a good run in the Cup as well has seen us into the 4th round, where our progress will probably end as we will take on a Manchester City once more. But But that's where we're going to leave it for today's video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed episode 2 of the Burnley save. Thank you guys for all your support. I really do appreciate it from each and every one of you, and I'll be back in the next episode to kick on with the early stages of the campaign. I'll catch you for that very soon. Take care, guys, and peace.